souffle with lobster and parmesan cheese. Okay, so we'll be doing the souffle. Okay, the souffle, I'll be using mainly the claw, and with the head we'll make the lobster stock. The lobster stock, it's a little bit too long to go through the whole process, so of course I wrote the recipe and you can read it. Once you get the body of the lobster, it's not that difficult, you just have to follow those steps. Then the cooked lobster, I'll be using the claw meat. We're going to chop that, incorporate in the mix, and also we're going to put some in the bottom of the dish. I use a little ramekin because we are making an appetizer. So it's a little smaller than what we use for example, the Grand Marnier souffle. So that's, I don't need to season the pieces because already the mix will be seasoned. So we're going to start to prepare the bechamel, that is the base of the souffle. Differently than the dessert souffle like the Grand Marnier, which is a souffle super light because it's basically just alcohol, so it raises very fast, very high. This one has more body, so it's more dense. So it's not going to raise as much, but it will still raise. But you know, you want to eat something, so get some of that lobster. Okay. So I'm going to put the milk to warm up. And then we're going to start the bechamel. So of course you have the recipe in front of you. I'm making, I think, the double of the recipe that you have. Because I need that preparation to prepare your souffle. I have done some of it this morning, but I still need that half of it. So for the bechamel, it's a classic roux. So the roux is the same amount of flour and butter. So I'm going to start with that. So we need to have the butter. Butter needs to melt, so it's going to take a minute for that. Then we're going to add flour. And in that preparation, we're going to use some Parmesan cheese. Okay, so lobster, Parmesan cheese, and also we're going to put some egg yolks. I separate, of course, some egg white that will be needed for the souffle. So I need to warm it up a little more. So in the bechamel, I'm not going to put any flavor. Usually a bechamel, the basic one takes some bay leaf, some nutmeg, but in that case we don't need all of that because basically what we want is the flavor of the lobster. The stock here has been reduced, so it's a really dense flavor. I might need to add some seasoning to it, but the flavor of lobster is there. Okay, so the butter is totally melted. So I'm going to incorporate all the flour. I need to whisk that. So you see it gets dry right away. I'm going to continue to whisk maybe a couple of minutes and then I will add the milk to it. So now it is dry, I can add the milk. The milk is not boiling but it's warm, so that will help. So I'm going to whisk it. I'm going to use a spatula to finish it. So now all the flour the butter and the milk are combined. So now I can add the lobster stock to it. Part of it, and then the rest. I should have used a larger pot, it would be easier. So now I'm going to add the rest. Now I can add all of it. So here is the mix, almost done. Then after that I'm going to cool it down. Yeah, I'm going to cool it down, and then I'm going to be able to add the cheese and also the egg yolks. Okay, I'm almost done. Takes a little work, a little more. So remember, this is the base of your souffle. So it's got to have all the flavor, and also it has to, be strong enough to hold the souffle also. Because like I say, you don't want to make a souffle that is too light. You also want a little body into it. So ready? Tu demandes le bol de glace. So as you see, it's a large quantity. You don't need to do that much, of course. Okay, so here is the mix. I'm going to try to cool it down fast enough so we can add the rest. In the preparation, we're also going to add some chopped lobster. So I'm going to start the souffle, because of course I have some prepared here. That's what it is here. So you have the same mix. Once I add the cheese and the eggs, that's how it looks. And of course I have had also some chopped lobster. I don't want to do it now because it's still hot. So I gotta wait a little bit. But we're gonna mix the egg white, and we can do what souffle. Of course it's difficult to do just one egg or two eggs, so I put a little more just to be able to whisk the egg. So it's going to take a couple minutes. It's almost cool enough so I can add the rest. I'm going to add a pinch of salt to it. So now I think it's cool enough. It's not totally cool, of course, but it doesn't need to be. Okay, I'm going to add all the egg yolks. Right. All of that, and then I can add the Parmesan cheese. Okay. So with that much, I probably can prepare about 20 souffle, I would say. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish to mix it. Okay, so the mix is done. Take about 2 spoons, because as you see it's not very big, and also I already put some lobster, so there's not that much space for the actual souffle. So I'm gonna start with that. So when you do a souffle, you don't want to put all the egg white into the mix at once. So you incorporate, I should have put maybe a little touch more. So of course on the mix, I go back to it because of course you should test it, see if it takes, usually I'm going to test it when I'm back in the kitchen. But usually it takes a little cayenne pepper and check for the salt, of course, knowing that the Parmesan cheese is salty. But you gotta taste it, and remember, this is a base, so once you add the egg white into it, it needs to be a little more spicy, a little more salty, because once you put the egg white, everything will be reduced. So we got about the volume of mix that we need. So now we're gonna fill it up. Yeah. Tu dis qu'il le garde. So I'm gonna have it. We're gonna bake that souffle. So like I said, this one is not like a, for example, the Grand Marnier souffle that we serve it, that will rise very high. This one is a little bit heavier. We serve a lobster sauce with it, as you wish. You can use it or not. I start presenting it with the lobster bisque, more for the show than really for the taste, because the taste is already there. If you want to add a little bit, you can. So now we're going to bake it at 350. It takes about 16 minutes in our oven, but you will have to figure out in yours if you might need to modify it a little bit.